You're watching MMA Oddsbreaker. This week we're talking to John Howard. He's getting ready to fight Ryan LaFlare coming up on UFC Fight Night 40 in Abu Dhabi. John, it's been a couple of days. Been trying to get this interview scheduled, and you've had a lot of extra training, a lot of extra stuff going on wrapped around our normal interview time. Are you doing extra training specifically for this fight, which is why you're running over, or is it just the way that training has been going lately? You just had to be in the gym a little bit longer.
No, I'm doing specifically for this fight, man, because Ryan's a good guy. He's undefeated, man. I can't come have stopping. Even though he's a smaller welterweight when it comes to size, he has a real good cardio and he grinds really hard. So I've been doing a lot of cardio and working with a lot of wrestlers, to match that, so I could keep up with his pace.
You're on a 4-fight win streak. This is about to be 5 fights in the UFC. That's a lot of wins right in a row. I mean, excuse me, you had 2 in the UFC and then a CES and CS before that. You've been on a bit of a tear. Has it been good matchmaking? Has it been a good, good training, good coaching? Is it all the above? Like, how is it all of a sudden you're on this real tight, real hard rung? Because for a while in the UFC, way back in 2010, 3-fight losing streak, you win a couple, lose a couple, and all of a sudden you're back on this win streak again. Like, what's the difference between the first time in the UFC and this time in the UFC?
Well, the first time in the UFC, I was a super young kid, man. I really didn't know the game as much. And I wasn't as disciplined as I am now. I was just enjoying life, man, being in the UFC, winning, and when I started fighting top tier guys, I thought I can hang with them just with my talents. And then I got a reality check. So when I got the reality check, I said, you know what, I need to go back to when I got kicked out the UFC. I need to go back to the drawing board, and see what I'm doing wrong. And I just went back to the drawing board. I just tell myself, what I'm doing is not working, and I better myself. Now, I have a lot more experience. I'm better, and I strengthen my basic skills. So right now, I'm on the tier, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever comes my way.
Well, let's look at those 3 losses you had back in August of 2010, December of 2010, and June of 2011. Jake Ellenberger, Thiago Alves, Matt Brown. Not like you lost to slumps. It's not like you got beat up by some guys that had no business being in there. As a matter of fact, Jake Ellenberger just signed a new 6-fight deal with the UFC. Yeah. So he's back in again here in 2014 and moving forward. So there's some serious guys that you lost to that are still doing very well in the upper ranks and the upper echelons. And then you go on a terror run over in CFA, CES, Olsen, Chatelli, Reem, and Chisholm. A quick setback with Silva back in October of 2012. Kind of a weird decision in my mind. Yamazaki was the referee on that one. And then just a run. Like, you're getting on this run now, which is great. But we all know we're only good as our last fight. So you come through. You beat Ryan LaFlare. What's going to happen? What do you think the UFC is going to do with you next? Like, what speculation? Because it's all speculation. It could be anything that they could do with you. What do you think is going to happen with you next after you knocking out and beating Ryan?
I don't know, man. After knocking out beating Ryan, man, I really don't know, because the welterweight division is a stacked division, and I know everybody's on the title chase. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm fine tuning, man, and I'll just take whatever comes my way, honestly. Obviously, the goal is to get the belt, but because there's so many, competition out there, I'm really satisfied just, stepping on ladder, doing stepping stones here and there, and taking my time, man. That's about it when it comes to that. But I like to talk about that Silva fight in Brazil, man. Let me talk about that fight, man. That fight was bull crap, and this is why. First of all, if you watch that fight, the fight that they put online is only 12 minutes. That was a 15-minute fight. Okay, if you watch the real fight, I took him down a lot more, and I dealt with Davis. He was running the whole fight. Okay, he ran the whole fight, and he got a unanimous decision. I'm in Brazil, not in my country, not in my area. He's the freaking talent there. Even though I feel I beat him, they give him the decision. So I think that was a biased win, man. I mean, they stole that win from me, but it's whatever, man. It's a lesson learned. And I think I better myself. When it comes to the UFC, because the welterweight is so stacked, I was gonna take my time and take what fights they give me. I'm gonna take what they give me. I'm gonna basically bank, from fight to fight, and then when an opportunity comes to give me that title shot, I'm gonna take it.
I do got to tell you with Silva, it was a hometown hero decision. You got homered, and that's what happens when you go to these smaller shows and you get. The UFC does a really good job, and Bellator does a really good job of not allowing any of these things to happen. You try to get hometown too much, but down there, fighting for HFR two high flight Rock 2, that is ridiculous the way you got homered, and that's just how it goes, and that's the setup. There's just nothing you can do about it. But you learn your lesson, like you said. You come back out, CES. Lord, you beat him out. You knock him out. Woodall, you knock him out. Then you got Uriah Hall, win a split decision, and then with Sylar, you win a unanimous decision. So you're doing really well right now. But LaFlare's a kind of a different fighter. He's got a different kind of technique, a different kind of style, and not to mention he doesn't understand how to lose yet. He's 10-0. He hasn't quite made the understanding that at some point you're going to lose in this game, and his wins, 4 KOs, 3 submissions, 3 decisions. He's got a good mix throughout the game, but if you go back and look, he's got the same kind of quality competition as of late, but throughout his entire fight game, he hasn't. He hasn't fought guys like Jake Ellenberger. He hasn't fought guys, like Uriah Hall in that case. His biggest name he's fought to date was Court McGee, who he beat in December of 2013.
And I agree with that. What it is I like Ryan LaFlare, no beef to you, but you need a reality check. you're doing good. We'll see what happens. I don't like to say, I'm winning or lose, but I'm going to give you a reality check. I'm going to give you a reality check for high competition. People are counting me out. I don't know why. It's the funniest thing ever. They think because, I came back to UFC, I'm some old man, not in shape. I proved to the world twice. First of all, fighting Uriah Hall, I went up a weight class, 185, which I shouldn't have been. Not in the UFC at least. I went up a weight class, beat a great fighter like Ryan Hall, who just knocked out Chris Lieben, who just basically retired Chris Lieben, which is impressive. I beat that guy, okay, and then Severe, who was one of the best kickboxers in the world, I out kickboxed him. Okay, I did a little wrestle, but out kickboxing. So I don't know why people are sleeping on me now. With Ryan, him being undefeated, I think. I think that's not to his advantage because he has a reality check. I'm not going there worrying to lose. I go in there to fight. He has to worry about it. I know he wants to keep a proper record, but it's not going to happen. So we'll see what happens, man. And if he thinks he's going to, outwork me or, anything like that, he's in for reality check. He hasn't. I don't think he has been hit by a high level striker like me. McGee is a good striker and all that. The fighter guys up there are pretty good, but they haven't been hit. With someone like me. Me fighting Bahad Zada and out kickboxing just shows to the world that my Muay Thai is so good that I could be a K1 fighter. There's not too many guys in the UFC who could go to K1 and adapt. I fought a K1 fighter in kickboxing. He beat him. Yes, I took him down. Yes, I slammed him. But at the end of the day, I out kickboxed him. Okay.
Are you predicting a knockout then in this fight? Are you predicting you're gonna knock him out?
I'm hard on predictions. I would like to knock him out. Everybody knows I'm swinging for the fences. I just don't know how he fights me. If Ryan stands in the pocket with me, he's getting knocked out. He's getting knocked out. Now I don't know what they're telling him. I see him fight. He likes to stay in the pocket. I'm not the guy you want to stay in the pocket with. The pocket is beneficial to me. I'm short, I'm stocky, and that's what I like to be of. You're going to stay in the pocket with me? Perfect. Now, if you play smart, then maybe not. I won't get the knocked out. But I'm pretty sure if he stands in the pocket with me, I'm knocking you out. Matter of fact, if you stand with me too long, you're getting knocked out. I don't care how tough you think you are, what you do, no disrespect. I'm just telling the truth. But he is a good wrestler. He's a better wrestler than me, and I think he's a brown belt, or about to be a black belt for jiu-jitsu. So, that's a little concerned. I do have my experience in jiu-jitsu and everything, but I'm not necessarily a black belt yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on. But everybody know my strength is boxing and Muay Thai. So if he stands with me, he's gonna get hurt. But we'll see what happens. I know he is. He's probably going to test the waters out, and I really hope he does. If he stands in our pocket for me, it's going to be a short night for him.
Well, talking about submissions and his submission game, you haven't lost by submission since 2006.
Yep.
I mean, it's been a long time since you've been caught in any kind of submission. If you submit them, or you lose a decision, for the most part. That's pretty much how your fights go, and you've only got 1 submission loss out of your 8 losses. You got knocked out twice. You lost 5 decisions and 1 submission. That's the only way you lose traditionally is by decision. I don't see him submitting you, and as of late, the way that you are in the UFC now, I just don't see Ryan out hustling you and out working you. But everything changes. And, you know, it's a different fight, it's a different day. And let's not forget, you guys are going over to Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. It
Yep.
is a tough, long travel. It is a long travel day getting there. It's different food, different time zone. Your jet lag will be a factor. All that gets equated into it. How do you plan on dealing with the jet lag and the differences in food once you get over to UAE?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm used to that. Like I said, I've been doing this for 11 years. So, I mean, like you said, I went to Brazil and fought. That's a long flight. I went to Thailand and fought. A lot of people don't know that. I went to Thailand and fight. Now, that's a freaking flight. That's a 24-hour flight. That sucks, right? And when you do Muay Thai over there, it's completely different. The food's different. The culture's different. The time zone is completely opposite. And jet lag's a mug. But I was able to adapt and still do what I do. So I have experience, and so I know what to be in for. I don't think he experienced that yet. And I think it's going to be beneficial. If he leaves early, maybe that help him, but I don't see that happen. I mean, he has to deal with that and all that. Me being fighting for years like I did to be around the world, I know how to deal with that. I know exactly what I'm going to go through. I know how to prepare. I got everything psyched. I got the right people coming with me. I know exactly how to deal with it. I don't know how he's going to deal with that because it sucks. It's a reality check. When you land, the weather's different, the time zone's different, and it's like when it's 2 o'clock in the morning in the U.S., it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon over there.
Yeah.
So it sucks. It sucks. So I don't know if he adjusted that. I'm used to that lifestyle, so I'm adjusted. So we're gonna see how that plays. I think that plays to my benefit. You know, maybe he doesn't see it, but when he experiences it, when he lands, he's gonna know that's a reality. Because you gotta land and you gotta get out the jet lag, and 5 days later you gotta fight. That sucks. Not even 5 days. 4 days later you gotta fight. So that sucks. I'm used to doing that. I do that all the time. So let's see how that plays out. I don't if unless he honestly, there's no way you can prepare for that unless you experience it. There's no physical way you can prepare for that jet lag and adjust your body and know what to do. I mean, unless he takes someone down with him, but still, I mean, this is your first time dealing with that.
Yeah.
That's a harsh reality check. It's gonna suck.
Well, that's John's Doomday Howard getting ready to fight Ryan LaFlare coming up here on UFC Fight Night 40. John, thanks for coming out of the MMA Oddsbreaker. I appreciate it. I know it's been a tough day for you, so I'll let you go so you can get some rest. Good luck, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.